Yo, welcome to another Speaker Giga podcast. I'm your host, Steve.
And it's Tommy T, other half of the Derby Boys, man, in the building. And this week, man, we got a very special guest with us today.
Yep.
And Corben S.S. Miller. Now, let me give you his background real quick. He's reigning from North Memphis, Jack of all trades, man. Master of sound with a melodic style highlighted by smooth bass, hard-hitting drums, and the big 808s. He's the founder of NL3-Media, a creative agency which focuses primarily on licensing music production for use in other creative works, films, shows, ads, video games, apps, the list goes on. Corben, what's good, my brother?
Sir, what's going on?
Oh, and everybody, he's a fellow Vol alum. Go Vols.
Yes, Orange Nation.
Yeah.
Orange Nation.
What's good, man? Appreciate you being on the show today, man.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Hey, but before we get into all of that stuff, Steve, what's been in your speakers this week, bro?
Man, I had a good long trip back from Florida and to Florida, so I had a lot of my speakers this week. But we'll try to highlight. I'm trying to make this quickly and do a highlight. First off, that Fabulous and Jada Kiss versus man. Yeah. I went and listened to that. I went and listened to so much Jada and Fabulous after that. I just put it on Pandora on Jada Kiss station.
Yeah.
Number gems on there. Nothing but Pac.
Bro, I missed it.
Jada.
I missed it.
Man. Hey, that was the best one yet.
Was it?
Yeah.
Fire.
Jada,
it was so entertaining.
The parts I saw, I was like, Jada Kiss fucked up, man.
Oh yeah, he was thorough. But it was great, man. It was great. It was real great.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So forever is a mighty long time in that big creek, man.
Of course.
That's what I was riding to.
Of course.
It was just perfect riding down that way through Alabama. I don't know why, but riding through Alabama, listening to some creek just felt right.
Right?
Just felt right.
Yeah, man.
Man, listen to that new start Lido, man. I'm staying on that, man. That paternity leave.
Yeah.
Always on that Lido. And then, man, of course, man, I went back to listen to Summer Shootout 3 from Fab. And then, man, I threw that God Forgives I Don't on there, man, that Rick Ross. I just rolled out to that. Definitely threw that Pop Smoke in.
Yep.
That Pop Smoke right, man.
It is.
I'm glad they figured out the album cover because that one that they said Virgil was gonna do was trash.
Was it? I didn't see it.
Oh, but you gonna have to go back and look it up. But
Yeah,
I think collectively we said it was trash. Right?
Everybody agrees.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, nah, fam. That's not it. Man, I threw on some Talib Kweli radio, man.
Mm-hmm.
On Apple Music, the Essentials. So I was just kind of listening to Talib Kweli the other day.
Have you checked out his podcast?
No, I haven't.
It's dope.
I need to.
It's dope. He does some really good interviews, man.
The crazy thing was I was looking for Most Def, and some reason I was like, I want to listen to Talib Kweli. So I completely bypassed Most Def and went on to Talib, but I'm gonna check that out.
Still a great spot.
Man. Yeah, man. But I love them too. I gotta listen to some more Most Def anyway. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
But then, man, after that, I rounded out my week with that. Rounded out my week with that new Gucci, man. That's So Icy Summer.
How'd you feel about it?
Yeah, I likes that.
You like that?
I likes that. I likes that. Because the first thing I hear is Zaytoven. The only thing I had was the first person I heard was Future. I rather Gucci first, then Future. But you know what? I ain't got no complaints.
Yeah.
As long as I heard Zaytoven, I was like, yeah.
How you feel about the new 1017, man?
The new 1017?
Yeah.
That's a good question because, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say they're quite new. I guess, you know, it's different from, you know what I'm saying, the days of Walker and OJ and, you know, all of that. But, I mean, what he got right now, I mean, he had a hand in finding all them guys. I mean, I can't complain on it. I mean, you got some of the biggest stars right now, man. Young Thug. And, I mean, Lil Baby, I guess he kind of is, but he kind of ain't.
Nah. Lil Baby with quality control, I believe.
Yeah, but you know, But you know, Gucci had a hand in finding a lot of people. And,
true.
But he never signed them.
Yeah,
very true. Gucci known for finding talent.
Right.
He known for finding talent.
You talking about the Ear to the Street? He has one like none other.
Man.
So I mean, he found Migos.
Yeah, that was a huge.
Yeah,
that was a big one.
But he wouldn't sign them. You know what I'm saying? So
he released them when he went to jail because he was like, I can't help you guys.
Yeah.
Who's the guy? It's a dude. I think it's Forgiano. I like him.
Man,
Pooh
you heard what
Shiesty.
happened last night?
What happened?
Nah.
Man, there was a shootout at the club he was at. He was performing at.
Oh.
Yeah, like a couple people got killed.
Was it? It wasn't. It was an 8. Like I only heard of one. It was an 8-year-old got killed last night.
At the club.
I don't know if it was at a club or not, but
this was like, it's a lot being said about what happened. So I'm gonna skip what's being said about what happened. You can go check that out on your own time.
Yeah.
But what I will say is like there was definitely a couple people died last night at one of his performances.
I hate to hear that, man.
Yeah, that's terrible news, man. Hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Yeah, but thanks.
Definitely down over here. Yeah, man.
It's always crazy. Unfortunate when stuff like that happens at the club, especially when you're having a good time.
Right.
But hey, man, it's just
it'd be a lot of unfortunate things happening around like younger artists. It just feel like, especially the last couple years, just a lot of bad things happening around young talent that could really go boom. Like you was just talking about the Pop Smoke album being riding.
Yeah.
Like how riding would it be if he was alive?
Oh my God.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Oh my God. Dude was on the rise, bro.
Lost. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. It's one of the things. We went through it when we were little young running around, and you know, some things just you know, you got everybody meeting up in one spot. Sometimes things happen. So
true.
But yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I had in my speakers for the week, man.
Okay. All right. Well, Corben, what's been in your speakers this week, brother?
Man, a lot of Alfredo, the Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist.
Okay.
Album. Man, straight fire. Every track, start to finish.
Yeah.
Like a lot of that. I listen to a lot of Alchemist anyway.
Do you?
You know what I mean? Yeah, and all the artists that be on his track. So what's dude just dropped Fly Guy is an awesome guy too. I'm trying to think of this guy's name. He with Griselda. I cannot think of his name. Not Benny, and not Machine, the other dude. Man, I can't think of his name. Yeah, he just dropped a project or whatever. But I listen to anybody who's on Alchemist tracks. I'm gonna hear them. I'm gonna hear that for sure. So that's definitely been in my speakers.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't no Alchemist fan.
Man, I love Fred.
No, I wrote them down. I'm gonna go check them out. You know, because I do that. I do check out artists that people talk about that I don't listen to. So I'm gonna check them out. But
hey, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
I say that, but on the other end, he got some legendary stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Legendary stuff, and his resume can't really be disputed from a hip hop and rap standpoint. Yeah. But I can definitely understand somebody not like him. I can get it. So I respect that.
I ain't gonna say I don't like him. I just didn't listen to him. You know, because I made the mistake and said I didn't like what's my man name? God, it wasn't Freddie Gibbs. Man from Detroit, man.
From Detroit?
From Detroit. Just came out with an album. We talked about it a few weeks ago.
From Detroit.
He's
with Eminem. Royce the 5'9". Yes, Royce the 5'9". Yeah.
I haven't heard that album, by the way.
Bro, you gotta listen to it.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, man!
He turned me into a believer.
Yeah, man. I listened to. Yeah, we had this whole discussion about Slaughterhouse. I was like, yeah, this is Slaughterhouse. I was like, no, and then everybody came back and was like, all right.
Yeah, right.
I miss Slaughterhouse. It'd be nice if they were still actually like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But can't get what you want all the time.
Right.
You can't always get what you want.
You can't when you put together an all-star roster. You know what I mean? Like the Golden State Warriors of rap. You know what I'm saying? You see these groups pop up, they be around for a second, then they gone.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. What else was in your speaker, man? I ain't mean to interrupt you.
This would be interesting. I listen to a lot of soundtracks, like movie soundtracks and series soundtracks and stuff like that. And man, I have to say, it's a Japanese anime called Full Metal Alchemist. You may have heard of it. Man, the soundtrack to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood it take you somewhere.
Oh yeah?
It take you somewhere, man. I get a lot of inspiration from stuff like that. And that's really been in my ears as I work through stuff and mess with stuff throughout the week or whatever. So that's been heavy. A lot of, what else? Man, I be YouTube surfing like a mug. And a lot of old school stuff, man. A lot of old school stuff. I got a playlist with like hundreds of songs on it on YouTube. My go-to for inspiration. Because, if you click a link, then it leads you to something else.
Right.
And it's playing or whatever. Man, just amassing. So when I'm dry, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I need that fix or whatever, man, go to the playlist.
Yeah.
Go to the master list. So I've been heavy. I've been YouTube surfing hard, man. Shit.
Gotcha.
Man, I thought I was the only person that did that.
It'll take you some places,
man.
Man, it'll take you some places.
Man.
I do that with the local talent.
Do you?
Most of the time. Yeah. Find one that I'm on and then I just see what's next and be like, okay. Because eventually they're going to show you someone, close to that person, close to that person.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's how I come across so many people. Like, I'll be like, all right, I know this guy. And I'm like, oh, who is this? I just click on it.
Yeah.
Keep going. Go. All the way down the rabbit hole. Then I got to dig my way back out.
Yeah. You sure got to dig your way back out.
Dig your way back out. You be lost. You be like, oh, my goodness. I get to this. But yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, that's all that's been in your speakers this week, though?
Man, I say, what else? I've been on some Erykah Badu heavy. I think she got like a greatest hits album that's all live.
Yeah, she does.
And
bruh, I already know it.
Man, you get some Erykah Badu in here and you chop it up.
Yeah.
You start hitting them pads.
Yeah, I already know it, man.
It'll take you somewhere. You start playing some keys around it.
Yeah.
Like when I create or whatever, like the first thing I do is I go looking for music. I go looking for inspiration or whatever. Just because I don't want to be too into myself. I don't want to start and do something that I know that I would normally do. So I go listen to a bunch of random stuff. Yeah. But like I said, go to the big master playlist or whatever. And I just keep finding myself back on Erykah Badu track list.
Yeah.
Hey, Erykah Badu will do something to you. You see what happened to Andre? Coming too. Shoot.
Common.
I love me some
bro.
Man, I love Erykah. But Brad, I asked my wife this. If somebody, I ain't gonna necessarily say her, but if somebody did a Tyrone song of today, what would change in the lyrics? Because she was like, you can't use my phone. You better call Tyrone. Like with if you modernize that song, what would you change? Or what would change in the lyrics? You guys can ponder on that for a while. I asked my wife that. She said nothing. Oh, okay. It's still relevant today. Yeah. It is.
Still relevant.
It is.
It's definitely a timeless record. But I definitely think people will express it a little bit differently today. I do think people will say it differently. And
for sure. There'll
definitely be some big reference to, social media and personal image.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a lot more focused on that.
Yeah.
Now, which is a shame. Definitely a shame.
Yeah. That might be
the only thing I can think of.
Maybe a question we answer at the end.
Yeah. Just ponder on it, man. Ponder on it.
What's in your speakers, man?
This week, man, of course, I listened to Gucci's album. I like this. Listening to this Gucci, this I don't even want to say it's Gucci's album per se, but listen, I think it's a compilation of his.
It is very 1017 compilation-ish. Right. It is.
Yeah. I like what he's doing there. It made me look at him as a lyricist, which is weird, you know. But I started to look at Gucci as a lyricist more so than just as another rapper who's just hot. He be saying some stuff, man. He be putting some stuff together. I be like, what did this brother just say, man?
Like, okay, no pad, no pencil. Like, I know you heard the super old Gucci.
Yeah.
The old WAP or whatever.
That's my favorite one of all time. No pad, no pencil.
It's kind of weird to, like, you look at him as more of a lyricist now, like after hearing the new album or whatever. And he killing that hoe for sure. But it's
been that way.
Yeah, like you can tell he got a library in his head.
Right.
Yeah.
Library in his head.
I just feel like I was talking to my wife about it earlier because she be like, Gucci's a clone now, as a joke. But I be like, he's no clone. I don't know. But I be like, man, his enunciation and stuff is a lot better because of him losing the weight and stuff. I was like, man, it's like this dude. He was amazing. Like, I never paid attention to how amazing he was back then when we was in college, because I had 2 12s, the 12s that you sold me, Steve, and I was just beating out the frame. Everything he had, I'm turned to the max, man. But then now it's like I'm listening to what he's saying and stuff like that, man, and I can like hear his the cadence is right, the lyrics is coming out right, so they're coming out clean. So I'm like, okay. I start paying attention more to what he's saying and stuff like that. I listened to the Pop Smoke. I listened to that actually today. I'm running through the car tomorrow, but because everything got to pass the car test. But Pop Smoke, I always said, man, we lost somebody way too soon. Like, I think he was gonna be like another great rapper, in the making with just a little bit more time if he had it. I don't know, like, is it Black with the six and the LACK? It's Black, right?
Yeah.
I listened to his EP. I listened to it because Lil Baby was on there. I ain't never really been a huge fan of his, but it was cool. It's a quick little EP.
I mess with Black, man.
Do you?
I
do too.
Yeah, I mess with him. I like what he's doing, man.
That's really the first thing, the first one I actually gave a listen to, because I heard Lil Baby's song with him first, and I was like, oh, it's an EP to it. Oh, okay. So I listened to that. Yo Gotti came out with a song, Recession Proof. Listen to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was straight.
That was classic Gotti right there. That commercials.
Right.
Goodness gracious.
Erykah Badu had her in the rotation this week. And August Alsina. Now.
I still ain't gave it a listen.
You haven't?
Me neither.
You haven't? I like it, man. I like it. I ain't no huge fan of August Alsina, but it gave me, it's definitely dated, I still got to finish it too. So, but I listened to like the first 5-6 songs of it, man. It's straight. It's coming out the gate straight. I'm gonna tell you why I listened to him is because what he said about Jada, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But
you know what's crazy? That is the reason why I haven't listened to it.
Really?
Likewise. Yeah.
I like August Alsina. Like, I like this first album. Like, I liked the music he was putting out, and I was following him for a minute, and then he just kind of disappeared. And I know, he was going through the stuff they was going through, and normally I would see it, I'd be like, all right, I'm just gonna give it a listen because I normally I rock with him. I like him.
Yeah.
He got a distinct voice. He can really sing and tell. He got some pain behind it. Like he's good. But then when I saw this, I was just kind of like, I don't know if I want to listen to it now. Like I just didn't have the urge to. I was like,
Yeah.
It make it hard to take. It make it hard to take the music seriously.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because he's really talented, and it's like, damn.
Yeah, like I listened to it because of that. Let me see what he talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it worked on me. The marketing ploy worked on me.
That's real.
Hey, but man, that's really what I listened to this week, man. That's all I've been listening to, bro. You heard any news this week?
Absolutely, man. It's been a newsworthy week. First thing, man, I want to jump on something that's been kind of entertaining, but I'm kind of worried about where it's gonna go, man. The whole Freddie Gibbs and DJ Academic situation. Yeah, man. So if people don't know, so it was a lot going on where DJ Academic said something about Freddie Gibbs. If everybody knows that Freddie Gibbs and Jeezy has had an issue for a mighty long time, which is something I wish would just kind of down now because Freddie is so talented. Freddie is so lyrics. Freddie is so dope. I feel like, hey, you ain't got to worry about Jeezy no more, you know? But he did say, he made a comment about Jeezy saying that Jeezy was musically irrelevant.
He didn't disrespect him, though. He didn't disrespect him. He just made an honest statement. Like, they asked him his opinion.
He gave his opinion.
Made an honest statement. He said he was a legend, right? But currently, he's not musically relevant. Whether or not you agree with that, totally different.
Right.
Yeah. It's all opinion based. I kind of disagree just a little bit, but I see where he's coming from too. Yeah. And it's normally, and we can talk about that. We'll talk about that on another shit. That might be a whole nother topic.
Right.
Folks who get, you know what I'm saying? Like you get to a certain status where everything's on autopilot and you just only doing your, what is the word? Your core audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's another discussion. But yeah, he said something. He said that about Jeezy and whatnot, and I'm glad. Cause I think we was talking about Freddie on a couple episodes ago, and I felt like he was kind of toning down with this issue with Jeezy because he wasn't like really disrespecting him like he did before. It was more like, you know, just saying, you know, little facts about him, and that was it. Because he said something on that Alfredo where it was like, Jeezy said, you know what I'm saying, you old rapping ass nigga, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's toning down, but, you know, we'll see where it go. But back to the situation. So at that point, DJ Academic said, if Jeezy isn't, then you're not. And then on social media, it was a big FU to DJ Academics. Then DJ Academics got on this platform called Twitch and pretty much just went on this rant for a couple hours about Freddie, about it was mostly about Freddie and maybe a couple of things. And then now we at this point where Freddie is dropping his video. He's going in. He's saying, I am going to torment this guy.
Oh man, he made a video. Yeah. Yes. I gotta see it. You're gonna have
to look at this video. He got this one video and it's crazy. I don't know the name of the video.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, it should be on YouTube, but it's got where Soulja Boy's the son. He was like, I dare you to do I dare. And then there's this little Teletubbies, and you got Act running around talking about, F you, I'm doing, man, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. It takes me back to when Rick Ross and 50 was beefing. Yeah. And 50 didn't rap back to Ross. He just put out, say Officer Ricky, and he put out the cartoon. So it's hilarious. Check it out. Act said something that kind of bothered me because he said something about Freddie's kids, and hey, as a parent myself, and growing up in the hood myself, the last thing that should come out your mouth is somebody's kids. Yeah, you understand? So I don't know where it's gonna go.
It looked like that turned left real quick, man. Because I've been at his door.
That was him, and we.
Hey, bro, we got something to talk about, bro.
But DJ Academics ain't somebody that's just out. Like he don't go anywhere. He don't do anything. I don't know.
Wasn't he the one that was on him and Joe Budden was on the podcast together, right?
Yeah.
And him and Joe Budden got into it or something like that.
Well, they didn't get into it.
Folks was into it with Joe Budden. And somebody showed up and punked the Academics out too.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember our old boy name. Dude, he from Chicago or whatever. It's a rapper from Chicago that showed up. and just was like,
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't remember who it is too.
I have no clue.
Trying to press him or whatever.
Nip said something about him too, and a lot of people say stuff about Act because Act
does he not act himself, or he putting on the show?
DJ is definitely asked himself, but he's just
his opinion is different from everybody.
You gotta, if you follow him and you watch what he promoted, how he promoted or whatever, it's real easy to see why there would be a lot of people who got a problem with him.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's me saying it in neutral mode.
Right.
You know, folks feel like the way he, portray them or the way he come at them or whatever be disrespectful.
Okay, I got you.
And
at least it appears to be.
Yeah. I mean, some of it is.
Some of it absolutely is. Yeah.
Yeah. The drunken rant was real crazy because, like, I think he said some stuff about John Legend and John Legend wife too, or something like that.
Oh man, come on, man! You can't talk about the Legend.
He got a real big platform, and when he say something, people do hear it. And you got to be careful what you say. You can't be reckless with that. And some people, I think, he reckless, bro.
Okay. Okay, that's what it is. He's reckless.
I absolutely agree.
I got you.
Absolutely. And Freddie not letting up at all. Yeah. Freddie not letting up at all. So,
as he should not.
He shouldn't. Right. Like
this would be interesting. This will be real interesting.
I'm gonna actually check that out.
So going on into some other news after that. Crap, I just lost it. So I'm gonna go into the next thing. So evidently we got Kanye West who was talking about running for president. I'll be absolutely honest.
It's a joke.
I think it's just, one of them things. I don't know if he's really wanting to do that, but I mean,
I don't think
what made me pay attention to it was like Elon Musk said, "You got my full support." That's the only reason I was like, hold up. This might be worth kind of discussing because, like, we all know Elon Musk and he's the creator of Tesla and all the great stuff that he's done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of one of those things where you're like, wait a second. Like, if no one would have said anything, if it was just like the, rap community say something, then, I'd be like, this ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
But when you got something as big as Elon Musk that says, you have my support, that kind of, that shakes the trees a little different, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Bruh.
You got two guys who are friends who then probably met up, had a convo, and was like, hey, what if I said I was running for president? Would you vote for me? And Elon's like, yeah, I'll vote for you.
Right.
And then it turns into a tweet.
Probably. I just wonder if there was a real discussion somewhere. Because Elon liked to, he
stoke the flames.
Yeah. And I don't know. He's a different type of guy. So, but no, I don't know, man. We'll see where it goes, man.
I can't take that serious, man, until I see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's already a serious situation to me now, just because it's like, bro, we in some trouble. You know what I'm saying? We in a little trouble here, man.
Trouble? I think that's a light word for what we're going to do.
Right. We dealing with some stuff right now. And so for Kanye to be like, yeah, I'm finna run for president, I take that with a grain of salt until I see it. And then absolutely. he can't get up there and just talk like I would expect him to do. He would, like, for me, I would take him as a serious candidate. Once I do see him up there, I take him as a serious candidate, and I would expect him to come with some, like, what you running on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking that with a grain of salt until I actually see it. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a marketing ploy.
It's something. Whatever it is.
We finna get a Kanye album in a minute, man.
It's something.
It's something. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know about vote for him, but we'll see. Man, lastly, on my news for the week, man, this is a big shout out to Lil Baby. If everyone doesn't know, man, Lil Baby's My Turn album has spent the most weeks at #1 on Billboard in 2020. Man, look at here.
He dropped
from
the jewel,
the story
man.
of him, how he made $100,000 within 7 days of coming home from jail, to having an album right now in 2020 that has had the longest run
man
at #1.
Yeah.
Like,
man,
the homie Lil Baby ain't nothing but a real great inspirational story.
Yeah.
I like to shout that out, man. Just kind of
shout out Lil Baby.
Put a highlight on what he's doing. And you can definitely see, you know what I'm saying, the growth and where he's going. And I'm ready to see where this ride goes, man. This is a great, interesting journey.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really ready to see where this goes from here. So shout out to Lil Baby, man.
Yeah,
shout out to Lil Baby.
Definitely.
Every year you have somebody who's just completely on fire. Like no matter what they drop, it's gonna do well.
Yeah,
like Absolutely. It don't even matter how people actually feel about it. Right. And I think this a little bit different. This might be one of those. He might have a real run going on where he's doing this for multiple years.
Yep.
You know,
I think so.
The biggest artists, like. If you think of the biggest artist you can think of right now, like the first person that popped into my head was Beyonce, strangely enough. And if you look at her run, every time she drops something, it's like adding a year to her run.
Yeah.
So what if we could be seeing that with Lil Baby? Like,
we could be.
Definitely
it's just we don't know how. Well, I guess we do know his album is at number 1, but we don't know how it's being received on the other side. You know, from people that I always look at names that. People that don't listen to hip hop or people that don't listen to R&B, the people that don't listen to music that I would listen to, and do they know who this artist is? Have they heard any of this artist's music? You know, and I always look at that. Like I have a little group at work, man. We share music back and forth, and most of the time they're sending like some country music, rock music, or something like that. I've never heard of these guys before, but I give it a listen. I was like, yeah, I like this, boom, boom. And then I shoot them something that I'm listening to. And it's funny, man. This one guy, every time he'll surprise me and say, yeah, I've heard of this one, but never heard of Erykah Badu. Like, how does that happen? I failed you as a friend, as a coworker. I failed you. There's a lot of
music out there, though. You gotta remember, it's a lot of music out there.
Yeah, I know.
10 million. in your space,
right?
You know, you can rule the world from your space,
right,
and never leave it, or you can be known everywhere,
right.
And get the same amount of money, you know, the same amount of notoriety. So it's
absolutely.
I kind of see it.
That kind of goes back to what we was just saying about Jeezy. Like, you know, to one person they can be like, you know, hey, he's not musically relevant, but to his core audience, you know,
he'll be musically relevant forever.
Absolutely, like because and
like for us,
if your core audience is big enough, you know, if your core audience is at least 70,000, then you know, hey, they then you're definitely musically relevant to those 70,000.
Right.
The other million or so may not even care.
Yeah,
but that's still gonna put you in the great pocket, great space because. That's enough to get you still number ones. Whereas if you got some people who have smaller core audience of like 35,000, you know what I'm saying? That's roughly half of that. Then you're like, you know what I'm saying? So it really depends because, it depends on your core audience and then how big that pool is. So.
Oh, definitely.
He definitely one of them artists that can drop an album and like you mentioned, he threw out 70K or whatever. Like, 70,000 people gonna go buy this within the first 2 weeks of it being out or whatever. The first week sales might look like one number, but if you add the second week, you can see all his fans that actually came in and showed up. Right?
Absolutely.
What's the guy's name? He was I cannot think of this guy's name. It was a gang of them. It was a whole bunch of them.
YBN.
I cannot think of his name. He dropped a Flower Boy or whatever the name of that album was. Tyler the Creator. Man, that one was on the tip of my tongue. I'm struggling.
Right.
Tyler the Creator can drop an album and ain't nobody been thinking about him. Ain't nobody cared about what he got going on. He hasn't promoted anything.
Yeah.
And 150,000 people gonna go buy it the first week.
Yep.
Yeah.
200,000 people go buy it the first week. No promotion. Like, so you absolutely right. You can't just say someone's not relevant.
Yeah.
But I think that's more of a jab at are you currently dropping albums or not?
Yeah.
Right. And you know how it is, like with the NBA or whatever. If you're not playing ball right now, like if you retired, there's a difference between how people view you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, you're not active when someone say, "Hey, you think you would do MJN. Like, yeah, I think I do MJN. he 50 plus.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he several years removed from dunking on everybody and winning all the time.
Absolutely.
So I think it's more of a jab at that than anything else. But yeah, Jeezy legend.
For sure. Like for sure. Hey man, I'm just gonna give another shout out to Lil Baby, man, because I'm really a fan of Lil Baby. Like for real. Most of his stuff that like he putting out, like just seeing his growth, man, was amazing. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him.
Enjoyment rise.
Steve, did you have any more news?
No, that's it.
I have one more.
What you got?
And it's the August Alsina and Jada Pinkett thing. I have to talk about it just because I was like, I felt the way about him saying that. You know what I'm saying? If it's true or if it's not true, it was unnecessary for him to bring it up. I feel like. Just because, I mean, I always look at, do I still have a chance? You know, like not now, but when I was, you know, not married or whatnot, or not in a relationship, I was like, how can I keep this door open? Cracked a little bit, you know. I might can pull it up, but I just need to leave it cracked so I can come back in real quick and, you know, come on out. He pretty much just closed the door. I feel like that's silly. And I think it was a marketing ploy. And it worked on me, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know, man.
He burned the bridge to powerful people, to a powerful couple. Like,
absolutely.
Whatever was going on there, like you're right, he definitely shut the door.
Yeah. Whatever that was. Like, I don't, like, I'll be honest, I don't even get it. Like, I don't even get it. Like, I guess it's just man, I really.
Sell his album.
Like, it sucks because that's exactly what I think it is. Like, just to use to get back out there to get some, you know, some attention on you.
When nobody talking about him.
I don't think he needed to do that. Like, just release it.
Yeah. I think if he just released it,
and
would have been straight.
Then, like, you would have had some of your actual fans would probably been like, yeah, I'm going to check this out. I didn't like it. I thought it was whack. Like, man, you just gotta look, man. Loose lips sink ships. Man,
there you
gotta
go.
learn to keep your mouth closed.
There you go.
Straight up, like some stuff just don't need to be spoken about.
Yeah,
you know. Now it just sounded like he was butthurt. I don't.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It's just hard to watch when you see talented people start jumping through these different type of hoops. And start operating in a certain way. I don't know what's true, what's not, and you know, it ain't my business.
Right.
But it's just, I really sit and think like, damn, how much attention would have been paid without the additional publicity versus, you know what I'm saying, with it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I really wonder, like, could he have done well and gotten the kind of attention he was looking for without this kind of bombshell news?
Yeah.
And I want to say but you really never know right now. It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And it's real easy to forget about what happened yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
True.
Social media do that to you.
Man,
that's the thing I think about when and that's what's stopping me from listening to the album.
Yeah.
Like,
me too. Me too. I'm just kind of like, oh, man. I'm like, I really don't want to listen to this now.
Right.
Because this will this be full of this? I don't want to. But yeah, man. So, man, even if it's true, like it's still something. Also, also something about seeing a man, you know what I'm saying, spill pillow talk like that just don't sit well with me. Yeah. So that's just another thing.
Yeah.
You ain't got no homies that be, you ain't got no homies that be like, hey, bro. Nah, you don't need to. Nah. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody tapping you on the shoulder like, hey, you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Somebody like run that by somebody first.
Yeah. Like,
let's think about what could happen. Let's write out the scenarios before we go out here with this.
Yeah, let's dissect this.
That might have happened. It really feel like everybody sat at a table and was like, all right, this is what we gonna do. These are the roles we gonna play. We all a bunch of actors and entertainers anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. It really does. So,
yeah.
I don't know,
man. But that's all the news I had, man. let's get right into this thing after, after we gonna went through this long intro. Now that we got that stuff out the way, first question I want to ask you, Corben. I kind of want to. Me and you talked about it a little bit earlier. If we could, this NL3-Media. I kind of want to like what's that all about?
So NL3-Media is really about building a portfolio of content that can easily be licensed to any kind of entity or party. Documentation is already prepared. This is what you want to use it for. You need it for an advertisement, or you need it for the background of a movie, or you need it in a series. You need it for an application that you're developing. You want menu sounds, like you need it for a musical work. Yeah. You like to take some original work that I've created, a melody or something of that nature, and you want to sample it in your work. That kind of thing. It's just ready-made content. I've created so much over the years, and it's so much deeper than what's on the website or what's on the beat store and that kind of thing. Like you and I talked, and you're like, I went to the beat store and I listened to this, or I was on YouTube and I heard that kind of thing. I have so much content that's not out there like that, and it's really for the business and for clients and that sort of thing. That's just ready made and available, and the range is so crazy. I mean, video game music, from 8-bit games and 2D side scrollers. You remember the music from Mario or Mega Man or that kind of thing. Man, I'm in here cooking that up. If you're thinking about, like, I got a movie, I love this soundtrack. It's a Hans Zimmer soundtrack, The Last Samurai. If you hear that soundtrack, you in a whole nother universe. A couple hundred years ago, people using swords and stuff like that, right? Like, I got music like that, that I'm licensing out, and that's available to be licensed out. So that's really the play. Really creating that music that happens while things happen, and that drives the activity in the process. So
that's dope.
Man. That's a lot of stuff that I was dealing with when I was working at BMI, and I was actually in my department. So I was in the TV operation department. I was a team leader. So we get the cue sheets with people with their music on it. And, we pretty much match that up, make sure everything's correct. And we make sure people getting their checks for, whatever's being played on TV, as you say. Like, and my team was mostly sports. So, we get Super Bowl, we get all the games, college games, TV, sports related TV shows, so on and so forth. So definitely something that is very important. And that was always one of my things, like, make sure you got your, got your paperwork in order. So, man, shout out to you for getting that together.
Definitely.
Man, we would get people would get stuff coming through, and we didn't know who they were. And it would be such a witch hunt, and people are losing out on so much money.
Documentation got to be right.
Absolutely,
Appreciate
absolutely.
That, man.
Absolutely. So, kind of going into that, man, how did you, before that, how did you become involved in music production?
Man, it's crazy. I come from a pretty musical family, and I'm the late bloomer. To be honest, I grew up and my mom sang in a gospel group, and they traveled and sang or whatever. I got a bunch of cousins who play different instruments, and they travel and play. Stuff like that. And I grew up in a household that loved music. Mom and dad loved music. All weekend, you hear music blasting, whether it's Sade or Bob Marley, something like that. So I grew up with that, just buzzing in my ear, and I fell in love with music young. But I didn't make music at all. I just listened. And in high school, me and a couple buddies, we used to rap. We used to sit and freestyle, download beats off of YouTube or whatever. Get wherever we could get them, and we'd sit around in a circle, play them, and just, rap or whatever. And I was the only one that was computer savvy.
Nice.
So when we would try to play around with recording, I was the guy sitting at the computer. I dropped my verse, but I spent more time trying to edit the audio with a little cheap free software we could find. And that sort of turned into, me really actually wanting to compose music and put it together. all the melodies that I've been hearing, that kind of thing over time, just building and just that desire popping up. So it's funny how it all happened. Like I ended up getting a hold of some money, and I built my computer. I had a brother who real tech savvy.
Yeah.
He's actually an automation engineer, but he taught the family how to like order parts and like put your computer together. And back then you could save a lot of money doing that.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing that and got a hold of a keyboard, and it just happened from there. Got a hold of whatever I could, and I just got that thirst. That happened at UT.
Oh, okay.
That happened at UT.
Okay.
Yep. I think my sophomore year, end of my sophomore year, that happened.
Yeah.
So just being around it always being a part of my environment. You know, coming from Memphis, it's music everywhere. Everybody loud with it. They want you to hear what they listening to.
Yeah.
You know, you'll discover music like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When somebody album dropped, everybody listening to it. I remember Lil White album dropped, and everybody like where I was at or whatever in North Memphis was listening to it. You couldn't get away from hearing Lil White album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fraser Boy album dropped. You couldn't get away from hearing Fraser Boy album. Gotti beefing with somebody. You can't get away from hearing the beef song out there.
Yeah.
It ain't even playing on the radio like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't get away from hearing it. Like everybody riding around in North Memphis listening to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just being in that environment, it do something to
Yeah.
you. Drama boy like Mozart, you know what I'm saying? Like Shorty Red, like a god behind the keys. Like people, they so talented. You know, you listen to it your whole life. How could you not?
Right.
I feel.
Yeah. I feel that, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, bro.
Absolutely.
I was gonna ask, man, for like, what's the one thing that your songs gotta have to be like, this it for me? This is like, I'm done now. What's that? Man. That I guess your distinctive sound, because you know how, you know, Pharrell has his distinctive sound, Timbaland has his distinctive sound. Who else is it? Swiss Beats, Zaytoven. You know, all those guys got a specific sound. What is yours, and how did you find that?
Man, it's, you know, you press play and mentally you're in one space.
Yeah.
By the time the track over, you got to be somewhere else. You got to be somewhere different. Okay. If I can't get that, you know, from making a track, it never leaves the folder. No one ever hears it. And I'll probably never open it again. I might go back if I'm really digging for an idea. You know, I might go sample myself, that kind of thing. But if it doesn't have a commercial use that I can find beyond that, I won't open the file again. I got to be somewhere different. I got to be moved. So, like, if you listen to a lot of my catalog and, you know, a lot of what's out there, you'll notice, like, there's a lot of diversity there. You know, it's a musical style, right? You know, it's rap, it's trap, you know, hard-hitting drums or whatever. The 808 obnoxious.
Yeah.
You know, what was it? The 12s you had?
Yeah.
Baby, you got your car rattling. It's that kind of thing.
Right.
But then the melody, so diverse, it take you somewhere different every time. I need that.
Okay.
And I look for that in music that I like. Like, you listen to a good album, man, you press play on the first song. Like, where are you when song 13 play?
Right.
You can't be where you was.
Yeah,
you know, see. 45, 50 minutes ago. You can't be
there. Right.
So I look for that, man.
Okay.
That's what I'm searching for when I make songs.
And that's such a great thing, because you need to go on that journey. Because, you know, music invokes that emotion. It gives you, you know, you can tell a story in music, you can educate somebody through music, or you can just make somebody do something stupid with music.
You can influence them for sure.
Absolutely. And music is so powerful. So, man, that's great that you look at that and you want to go forward with that. So, man, that's awesome. So one question with that, you know, what was that first beat instrumental that you fell in love with, that took you on that type of journey, that made you want to focus, that made you add that perspective to your beat making? Like, what would that be?
Man, that's a good one. And it's so many ways I can answer that. Because I have so many influences.
Mhm.
Like, I like so many different types of music and different artists. But, I come from the era of, Kush and Orange Juice.
Yeah.
Was like a masterpiece.
It's a classic.
That was a moment in time, How Fly, with Currency and Wiz. That was a moment in time, what I mean? Those producers, Sledgen, Cardo, Johnny Giuliano, what they could do sound quality wise and, taking you on a journey with their music and letting you vibe, that kind of thing, man. Bro, those tracks really took me somewhere.
Yeah.
I used to go listen to their music. You get to a point where you listen to rap and you're really listening for the instrumental.
Yeah.
And you start to get a preference for, the kind of producers you like. You start to look for their producer-artist collaboration. You're not looking just for the arts. Oh, so-and-so made the beat.
Yeah.
I got to go hear it. It don't matter how he slid down, what that beat hitting on,
Right.
They really, hearing them, especially while I was starting out and really starting to actually make beats, that had a lot of influence on me because I could see what somebody could do. I didn't want to make the same kind of music or do it like that, but I could see like, that's how you can take somebody on a journey like that.
Right.
That, what is it? It's a Gucci Mane mixtape. It's the Burn one joint. Man, I'm terrible with names. He got a couple mixtapes with Burn one or whatever. Man, you press play on number one. Man, by the end, you a dope boy hero. You done sold it all. Like when you hustle, you feel like you really trapping. You know what I'm saying? That's a journey. You go from feeling like, if you're sitting doing work, you go from feeling like, man, I don't feel like doing this, to feeling like, man, where they work at?
Right. Absolutely. Right.
Like it puts you in that mind state. So I think that kind of music really, Drama Boy and Shorty Red, like the way they could take you somewhere. Like Shorty Red shit started playing, it sounded like a band, but with sense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you see folks marching. You know what I mean? Like, and then look, you meet them in person and you realize like this somebody who really like played instruments and was like, in the band and understood music or whatever. Yeah. I didn't actually had the pleasure of meeting him, and actually I done been in beat battles and stuff like that. Yeah. Where him, it's a guy named Willpower, who his music legendary to me. He done a lot of stuff for QC. He done stuff for Jeezy. He just look for Willpower or look for the William. God damn it, he hard. Yeah. You got him. It's a bunch of artists. Burn one I mentioned. You got him. I met Burn one. Super dope dude. It's a lot of artists out there that take you somewhere, whatever. But that era of trap music and just smooth, dope music, where folks was being comfortable with smoking. You know what I'm saying? Out in public. And really taking it there. Wiz was getting folks to actually tattoo their whole body. Yeah. He tried to hit my whole body or whatever. Man, that beat still hard. Yeah. It is. That beat still hard. You know what I'm saying? Not to rant and rave, you know what I mean? But think about it. What about you? Like, what music? Y'all do the segment where, okay, what you've been listening to or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you listen to there's different stuff y'all point out. There's different moods. You know what I mean? Like, what's something y'all listen to that, make you look for that same quality in another track? You keep looking for it over and over again. What's that quality for you? If I'm looking for a journey, what y'all looking for?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's such a great question. For me, something that I'm looking for, like I'm a big Nipsey fan, so the thing that I'm looking for, but it depends on the artist too, because I know what the artist gonna give me. But when I hear something with Nipsey, I'm looking for that motivational type of stuff. The way that his like my homeboy Money Mark brought up that, you know what I'm saying, Nipsey beats are like up-tempo type of beats. Yeah. But yet he's teaching so much throughout, and it's so like, it's almost conscious to a point and dark, you know what I'm saying, at the same time, is that's what I'm looking for. Whereas if I'm listening to somebody like Ross, then I'm waiting for the symphony to come in. I'm like, okay, I need to hear that symphony, and then I need to hear Ross come through. And then we with it, So it just really depends. And then one thing is like the first, it's crazy because the first beat that I fell in love with, was the first song that I actually fell in love with, that made me fall in love with hip hop. Period. Was Onyx, Slam, and man, to this day I can listen to that and like that, like you just like man, and but of course times the way things changed from then to now. But yeah, man, like I'm listening for like when I hear that. It's something about the beats that are like take the Freddie Gibbs album. When you get one of those beats that are like, you can tell he finna get off on, where it's like, it's kind of a mild beat. It's not too up there, not too slow. It's just mild. And you hear that drum pattern come in, and the instruments are perfectly placed to the point where like the story is just being told. A perfect example of that would be the Meek Mill song, Tony's Story.
Tony's Story hard.
Like you just feel it through the whole thing. You get your chills, and you be like, "Goodness gracious!"
man, talk about take you somewhere. Boy.
Take you. You be like, at the end of that, you be like, "Hey, yeah, you should have clapped Tony up, nigga."
Yeah, no choice.
So man. What you got, Tom?
For me, what I like is I think more so I look for like the challenges in the music, like basically what all is here, you know what I'm saying? What all is here that we can hear or that we can't hear. Greg did a beat. Coco's God, it's one of my favorite songs from them. I want to say, is it Coco in
London, man?
Coco in London. That's it. I don't know.
Talk about it all the time.
Right, I know, right? but just hearing that sample that he used in there, and then just coming up with the beat and everything like that, I was like, damn, man, this song is straight, super straight. Another thing is, of course, I need something to knock. Like I needed the trunk rattling, my rear view mirror finna fall down. I need that, But it's like, man, I look for melodies. You know what I'm saying? I like Rick Ross because of the melody, the melodic flow he has, and the beats have that same melody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like I look at areas too. You know what I'm saying? Because I pay attention to like the Memphis sound. That's something I was going to ask you about too. Memphis to me has a specific sound. Yeah. I don't care who it is. Like they have a specific sound, and it's been that way forever. You can go all the way back to what is it, Stax Records and stuff like that. It's a specific sound coming from Memphis that I like. 3-6 Mafia is one of my favorite, like DJ Paul, Juicy J, probably one of my favorite producers, just because just listening to their music, it doesn't sound the same, but it sounds the same, but it gives you everything you want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's weird to me. It's just the fun part about it, because like from my end, I do the editing for the podcast, do the editing for the videos we do and stuff like that. Yeah. And I see the creativity in it. You know what I'm saying? So from a music producer standpoint, it's like, how creative can you get in making music? What all can you put in there? Live music is the thing that I love. Like if I can hear trumpet, saxophone, tuba, like all this live music, keyboards in there, and then it's stomping too, I want to listen to it. Put it on repeat. Let the thing ride.
But some of that stuff can be a little crowded. And
definitely. But if you can find a way to put it in there to where it fits, man, I think that you got the makings of a perfect song.
Partial composition, partially the mixing. Because if you get the right engineer, I mean, he can make some stuff appear that wasn't there. It'll make the track better. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it can't get crowded, but you're right. Like if you can get it all in there and do it right,
man, you talking about a perfect song? Yeah. Man, them Maybach musics, man. What's the one with I don't know the one with who was it? Was it T.I. was on it? Mm-hmm. I think Neo was singing it.
Oh man, that's the one that. Never mind.
Like I like all the. Was it under 3,000?
That's my least favorite.
That's your least favorite.
I think Neo just didn't rock on it right.
Man,
nah, I know what you're talking about. Like I listened to that. That was on the God Forgives I Don't.
Yeah.
And like the beat alone,
right,
is amazing.
Right.
But you gotta have them elements there. You know what I'm saying? I think like a perfect example of a beat that's so dope. That I think people pay attention, but they don't really pay attention. The Shawty Low beat for They Know. Like,
with the band.
Think about that beat and then think about Shawty Low on it, and you'd be like,
right.
Like if you would have heard that by itself, you probably been like, no, I ain't giving that to Shawty.
Right.
That ain't gonna sound right. But like you say, if you got the right engineer, if you can flow on it, if you listen to that beat so much that's in it, you'd be like, dang. That's the perfect trap.
Perfect, man.
Right.
Perfect trap anthem.
Right.
Sound like a theme song, and it's just perfect. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, we gonna have to do this Memphis topic.
Nah, we gonna have to, man. You know I'm itching to do it.
I'm gonna have to holler at Hot Rod.
I love Memphis, man. My wife is from North Memphis as well, Fraser.
By the way. You say Hot Rod? Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
you talking about who I think you're talking about. He hard.
Yeah, that's my homie. Sure. Yeah, that's my homie. That'd be cool to have like a couple people from there, like you, Hot Rod, and maybe Greg or a couple more. Yeah. Like, and just talk about the music.
We should just that's for a later day. Like a free fall. Yeah.
I'm interested. I'm messing with it. That's
gonna be fun, man.
Nah, man. Memphis, man. Like Memphis is special to me in two ways. Just because growing up, that was the closest next to Atlanta, but Memphis, Tennessee was, you didn't, like for me, I didn't pay attention to where they were at. You know what I'm saying? I just knew it was in Tennessee, and they made dope music. Everybody coming from Memphis, you got Project Pat, Getty Green, we listening to that, and I'm like, who is this guy?
I wake up every morning to the Getty Green. It's right. My alarm, man. Every morning, ready to go.
I remember Fraser Boy came out with his album. What is it, Gone Off That Bay or something like that?
Yeah.
Gone on the Bay or something like that. And
Off That Bay.
She swallowed it. That was my jam. That was my jam, bro. She swallowed it. Are you hearing what this dude is saying?
Oh man.
Hey, it's always been, Memphis has always had so much. Even if you go before, well, I guess not technically before 3-6 Day, but if you go back to crap. Oh man, I hate it. Just like one of my favorite artists that underground artists. Tell Me Right the Third.
Yeah.
If you go back to his stuff, and some other people's stuff, you'll be like, man, Memphis has always had something to say. It's almost been kind of political, but they it was so raw and so real that you was like, man, you can't play that on the music. I mean, play that on the radio.
Right.
Play a fly, man.
Play a fly.
Listen to that Play a Fly. He got a song called Ghetto Eyes. It's still hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, A-Ball and MJG, man, they do like legends.
We can't forget Tila. I mean, shoot. That's your club anthem right there.
Right.
I was just listening to Coming Out Hard. I was just listening.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Coming out hard.
With that, and with that, man, what or who gave you the motivation to, stay in this game or continue to do it?
Man, it's difficult. It's really difficult to pursue something and just keep going nonstop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a journey of self-discovery. Like it's gonna take you some places and it's gonna impact your mental health.
Absolutely.
And that last part, mental health, that is the number one reason I can honestly say I stuck with it. I can't see a world without me creating.
Mm-hmm.
I've been given every reason to quit, even having the financial motivations to quit. When you got a bunch of skills, when you're a jack of all trades, music is just one of many ways to make money.
Right.
Yeah.
but recognizing that it's more than money. It's a much bigger deal. Recognizing like me without creating and expressing that way, I'm not the same person. I can't say that I am. I treat people differently. I operate differently. Like I gotta have this outlet. My mom will call me and be like, "Have you made something? What are you doing?" You know. My dad the same way. Like, son, what you been up to? Like, what have you done with your hands? You know. So. That's been the number one thing, man. Recognizing that it's a great mental health tool, and no matter which direction stuff go, you're feeling my stuff, you're not feeling my stuff. I make good money this month. I don't make no money next month. No matter what happened, I need that medicine.
Absolutely, man. It's therapy, man.
Yeah,
therapy.
Nah, I get this, man. Like, you know, this podcast, man. I get to talk to my best friend every week about something we grew up on, like. Yeah. One of the things that brought us close together was music, man, and we talk every week about it. So, you know,
we got so many stories about music.
So many, you know. So I get the therapeutic, the medicine from creating. So, that's dope, man. That's super
take you
dope.
Somewhere, man. It'll definitely take you somewhere. Just recognizing, okay, what are the 2-3 things you got to do every day? If it's 2-3 things that you do have to do every day, what are they? Right? And music automatically in that third slot. Slot 1 and 2, you can shuffle them with a bunch of different things.
Right.
Number 3, man, gotta get up. If I only play a note, like I turn everything on and I hit one note, and I'm out of time.
Right.
Like if that's all I got in that 24 hours, I'm happy I got to hit a note.
Yeah.
You know? And if I can get a whole day, if I can get a marathon in, man, that's awesome. If I can get a weekend, that's awesome. But if I only got 5 minutes, I'm gonna play a quick tune, hit record, then I'm gonna play it to the metronome, save it, give it a crazy name. I'll be back.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
So, no matter what, just find a way to create.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Well, this episode has been amazing, by the way. Guys, I want you to know that. Corben, before we leave, man, please tell us where we can find you and your info and your music and everything like that. Where can we find all this stuff?
You got a couple places as far as IG is concerned. NL3-Media. You can find me, follow me. A lot of cool little clips and stuff like that on there, and links to the websites. Also at SSNOCHEVY. That's SSNOCHEVY. It's my personal account, but I post a lot of music there as well, just to share in general. I got a lot of content to share. So those are 2 great places. NL3Media.com. That's a quick way to get to a track list for, some stuff I've created. And you can find me on YouTube. If you look for NL3XSSP, you can YouTube that. You'll find some stuff. There's plenty of stuff out there. So check that out. I also want to add, I have 2 projects coming. They are vastly different. One is called The Hand of God, Kami no Ti in Japanese. That's some hard-hitting melodic stuff. Super dope. And then I got another project called Point of No Return. That's literally soundtrack, take you on a journey and take you somewhere. Both of those will be on Spotify. And they'll be dropping at the same time at the end of this month. So look out for that. Come find me. I got plenty for your ears if you're interested.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Good stuff. Yeah, man, the producer in music, man, I always felt like they were the conductor of a song. And so vitally important to songs and music. So going forward, man, I want you guys to just check out the producer. Like when you listening to music, I know I've gotten into a habit of doing this. I look and see who created the song, like who produced it, just to kind of see what else they're doing. So I've actually gotten to a point to where I'm doing that. Also, man, I feel bad for not saying anything earlier, but Big Crit is like one of the most amazing producers that I enjoy.
Amazing.
That I enjoy. And I wouldn't feel like right if I ended this podcast without just naming him, period. So shout out to Big Crit. Huge fan of his. And
best live performer I've seen. And
bruh,
I've been to a couple of concerts, man. He is incredible live.
Bruh.
Man.
Yeah. So, but you guys, I want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Speaker Geekers podcast. If you haven't already, please go subscribe to the channel on YouTube at Speaker Geekers Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Speaker Geekers Podcast. Join the Derby Boys in the discussion. You can follow me as well on Instagram at I am Tommy T the Third, and you can follow Steve at the Great Steve-O Steve, DA Great Steve-O Steve. This episode has been produced by NL3-Media. And Steve, you got anything?
Man, we got to answer that question from earlier.
Oh yeah, what you got? What you got?
I'll let Corben go first.
wait. So is this the August Alsina question?
No. The Erykah Badu. Like if you the modern day Tyrone song.
Yeah. So what would change? Yeah, I definitely say that there will absolutely be something involving an app. Something involving that. It doesn't have to be Instagram or Facebook. It could be discovering something on TikTok or discovering something on Snapchat or whatever. The scandal gonna involve social media and something being posted.
Yeah,
that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be the girl or the side chick intimidating with posts or whatever. Like, it never fails. That's in every song right now.
Yeah, it is. I agree with that, and that's definitely part of it. I think the other thing is, I think the roles would change a little bit. Yeah. Because now, you know what I'm saying, women are like, if women are like some of the fastest rising entrepreneurs. So, in there, she talks about her paying for everything. I think it would be a little different because I think she'll have been okay with it.
Yeah.
In a certain sense.
Yeah.
But I think that social media definitely play a part, but I think that the roles may change just a little bit due to how fast women are rising in these times. That's what I think would change.
Hey, what made me ask that question or bring that up was that I was listening to it, and my wife pointed out that Tyrone was the friend, and Tyrone has gotten a bad rap because of that song. But nobody ever pays attention to. He was the good friend that came right.
And I don't think that part will change. I think everybody got a Tyrone and then Corben. Probably when we listen to the song will be different.
Right. Today the song might end with her leaving with Tyrone.
Right.
The way it worked today.
Yeah.
Then we have a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Then we'll have down low part 2 or something like that. What the hell is going on? Hey man. Yeah, Tyrone got shot somewhere.
Right. Oh man, y'all too silly, man. But hey, everybody, I appreciate it. And I'm out, man. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.